I'm Liev Schreiber, and this is the WIRED Autocomplete Interview. Ah! Was that the point of that one? Or did you want to know if I was in Scream? Oh, here's what you asked. How to pronounce Liev Schreiber. That's how you pronounce it. Liev Schreiber. I don't remember the last time I've heard my name said correctly. That might have been at my mom's house. Liev Schreiber is a Jets fan. Liev Schreiber is a Jets fan. Sadly, Liev Schreiber is also a Giants fan. Liev Schreiber is a fan of pretty much every team that has ever done a Hard Knocks show, because you get to know these guys who are at this inflection point in their careers, and it's moving, and you start to follow them and you start to care about them. I think that's why the show's good, and I think that's why I'm a fan of so many NFL teams. Liev Schreiber awards, just too many to list here. Liev Schreiber, Ray Donovan. I really liked that show, so I enjoyed being a part of it. Those were all friends of mine who were in it, and they remain friends of mine. And you know, when you do something like that for 7 or 8 years, those people become your family. I mean, I'm used to it because I was a theater actor, so you had this thing where you work for 3 months, get very close with people, and then you leave. And I didn't realize that was one of the things about television, is that you work with people for a really long time if the show's successful. I miss all of those people very much. There's not a Ray Donovan group. Okay, let's see what else you want to know. You want to know Liev Schreiber Scream. Ah! Was that the point of that one? Or did you want to know if I was in Scream? That's probably more like it. Yeah, I was in Scream. I was in Scream 1, Scream 2, and Scream 3. I had met the producer, and as a favor to whoever my agent was at that time, he gave me this part in it. All I had to do was walk up and down some stairs, and they would give me $20,000. And at that point, I was like, oh, yeah. And so I did, and then next thing I know, it's like this zeitgeist hit, and I'm in the second one, and I'm in the third one. So I actually owe Scream a lot for my career. Does Liev Schreiber play hockey? Very badly. I learned to play hockey for Goon because I had to play an enforcer. And, you know, there aren't many enforcers who are great hockey players, so it kind of made sense that I wasn't a great hockey player. But I had to look like I knew how to skate, so they sent me to hockey camp for 5 weeks, which is one of the amazing things about being in the movies, is you get to learn things. Liev Schreiber, Asteroid City. Yes, I was in Asteroid City. Being on a Wes Anderson set is like, I don't know if you ever saw the show Captain Kangaroo. It's like that. YouTube it. Liev Schreiber as a kid. I grew up in the Lower East Side of New York. I was a little blonde kid with hair down to my butt. And I wore, for some reason, all the kids in my neighborhood called me Boots, because I wore cowboy boots that were like 3 sizes too big. So hopefully that encapsulates my childhood. What else do you guys want to know? Liev Schreiber, Broadway. Yes, I've been on Broadway a number of times. I've even got a Tony, actually. I mean, I don't have it here with me, but I have one in my possession. There's no comparison. It's just a completely different animal, and I love it. It's hard. The schedules are hard. You get paid a lot less, although Broadway can sometimes be a little more lucrative. There's something about the theater, and this sounds really corny, but it's my equivalent of church. It's about the audience. It's about the community. It's about 500, 800 people in the dark communing. And it has much less to do with the actors than you think. There are laughs in the theater that don't exist in real life. They're laughs of acknowledgement where an audience sees something and they go, and that laugh is meant to communicate to the other people in the room that they share something with this story or this idea and this theme. Because what you're doing on stage is really putting something up for them to become closer to each other, for them to become closer to themselves, which I suppose cinema does the same thing. But what I love about the theater is it does it in this very visceral, real way, that like they're sitting next to each other doing it, and it's happening. And they walk out feeling, if it's good, profoundly different. Liev Schreiber talked too much about the theater. Liev Schreiber, Everything is Illuminated. Yes, so I wasn't in that. I directed that, and I adapted it from Jonathan Safran Foer's book. It was the beginning for me of my fascination with America as a nation of grandchildren. It's part of why I'm so interested in the war in Ukraine, and part of why I started Blue Check, and part of why I think we have to be so vigilant about our democracy, that it's something that we do owe a debt to our grandparents for, and it's something that we do have to, unfortunately, every once in a while perform some maintenance on. No, Liev Schreiber is not Wolverine, but I was in a movie with Wolverine, and I played his brother, who was Sabertooth, Victor Creed. No, I'm also not Nicole Kidman, if that isn't blatantly obvious to all of you, but I was finally in a show with Nicole Kidman called The Perfect Couple, which was really, really fun, and she is a remarkable actress and surprisingly naughty, and I really enjoyed acting with her. What else? Okay. Will Liev Schreiber return as Sabertooth? It's possible. I mean, that was a lot of weightlifting and eating chicken, and I'm not sure I'm up to that, but if someone had a great idea, I'd be in there. Why was Liev Schreiber with Usyk? Because he's probably the person I admire most in the world right now. I'm a huge boxing fan, but it's not what I love about Alexander Usyk. What I love about Alexander Usyk is his principles and his values and who he is as a person. And, you know, fighters always talk shit about each other before fights. And Usyk just smiles and is always kind and is always respectful. There's something about his work ethic. The average boxer has, you know, 30, 40 amateur fights. Usyk has 330 something. He practices that idea that Kobe used to say, I don't take a shot unless I've taken it 1,000 times in practice. Usyk does that with boxing. And it's a work ethic. It's a respect. It's an integrity. The fact that he's also Ukrainian and he's representing the strength and resilience of his people, and not just his people, but all of us, what we're capable of if we put our minds to it. He's extremely special to me. So when he invited me to do the ring walk with him, I was very flattered and extremely nervous. I was so freaked out that I was going to jinx him, but thankfully, he is who he is, and he won. He's the heavyweight champion of the world, by the way. Liev Schreiber voice acting. Yeah, I've done that a couple times. I did Spider-Man movies. I did My Little Pony, Isle of Dogs. So yeah, I've done a little bit of voice acting. Liev Schreiber beard. Yeah, I have a beard. I mean, I wouldn't call it a beard, I'd call it stubble. Like, it started with Ray Donovan, and then as I got older, I was like, you know, my face is pretty fat. So we call it Slavic fat pads in my family. And I thought, with the stubble, my face looks a little less fat. Stubble helps, guys out there. What is it called when guys do that? They give, like, grooming tips. Stubble helps with Slavic fat pads. Oh, really? There weren't any, like, come on. People want to know other, more awful things. I think, like, the #1 thing is probably, like, does he have kids? Is he married? They want to know all that stuff. I'm kind of disappointed. I have 3. I'm not convinced that those are the top questions the internet has about me. I think that the internet has a lot more awful questions about me that you're protecting me from. Somebody's protecting me from the awful questions that the internet has about me. But you know what? You can always just Google me.